those documentaries. The infinite. Here we go.
There's
the infinite times. Oh wait, yeah, there you go. The infinite times we've heard Master Debate say, "Play your game. You know your game. Play your game." They were not going to change. They were not going to.
This is pretty. This is pretty Aurora. You know.
Them.
Yeah,
that's them.
Even if it is difficult for Dom and Kite,
yeah.
and we wanted to see a switch up from DK and Light, this is them.
Yeah. It's comforts. My brain is telling me I'm leaning towards Liquid here. The presence of the glue alone does a lot of things badly. Oh, there's a lot of great things that make Aurora's lineup look bad.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we have to respect the fact that Aurora are playing comfort.
It's a better tight game for Aurora.
Yeah.
But Liquid just has to figure out how to dismantle that.
And also extend the series to Game 3 in this epic rivalry.
So the risk they win a very crazy game number 1, game number 2, their opposing team just goes for a fast snowball win. That is still very active. Which is why I'm leaning a little bit more towards Aurora here. Despite Liquid setting the tempo in the mid, they just
pretty where they can here.
Trying to see now if there's any avenue for Carl Teasy to go for a flank somewhere at level 4. Dominic is stretched out, but he will back out in just a bit, knowing that there's a chance Carl Teasy might be in his side of the jungle. He will not hit level 4 just yet. So if ever there is going to be a flank, it might be somewhere in the center of the map after he gets the purple buff. See if they can bring Yue down low so that they don't have that much of a problem getting turtle number 1.
Yeah, turtle situation in game 1 was
it was pretty crazy.
Interesting. I was going to use the word interesting. But this time, maybe we go for something more traditional, something more orthodox. That could have been the issue with Aurora, is because the game was so weird to begin with.
Yeah.
Oh, mid lane, Light taking quite a bit of pokes,
Woo!
but he even holds on to the flicker, so he knows he's going to be fine. He'll go reset. Turtle's going to be up here in a couple seconds. Both junglers have that level 4 available. A little bit of a lead for Carl Teasy as he took the camp up top earlier on in Aurora's jungle.
Almost a full bar.
Yeah, and this gives him a bit of space to work with, but you still got to respect the Baksha in this first turtle. So he's going to go for a kill?
Carl Teasy does not pull the trigger on the shadow kill. Wall put up.
Oh, good
There's
block.
the Force of the Phoenix on the shadow kill. Wall put up.
Oh, good
There's
block.
the Force of the Phoenix put up by Sanji, so they know where everyone is, but that's just going to be it.
A couple ultimates expended here. Heal up for JP. Fight for this turtle. It's half health.
Now up 8. Who's going to get it? Retribution still online for both, and it's Demon Kite. Utility jungler reigns supreme. The grab, and the mount by Sanford. Not much of a follow-up here, as Demon Kite put down to a massive tech charge coming in. Edward takes down Carl, first blood.
Yep, that's what we were talking about. In terms of the potential of Aurora to get big wins early on, they get the turtle. Carl Teasy stood his ground, but eventually got taken out. Light able to get that massive tech charge in with the wall. This is going to be tough going here for Liquid now, as Aurora can continue this aggression. They're handling the trade in the center really well. A majority of the game so far has been Aurora getting mid-priority, and that forces Team Liquid Philippines to get creative.
Right now, too, fighting in this side of the jungle.
DK committing! Grand Theft Orange, but no, Carl secures! They take down JP though, and now Demon Kite hiding in the brush. Daiki unable to get the kill, and Daiki falls! Demon Kite claims him, and Demon Kite gets taken down by the turret. A little too close there.
Okay, a little pressure here on this side of the purple buff of Carl Teasy. Doesn't have retribution, but they are going to go ahead and force Edward out of here. So buff secured. Oh, they're going to bring him back. Okay, good use of the flicker there to not get brought back to Carl Teasy. Meanwhile, up top, I have to say, man, Light has been on point ever since he hit level 4, and he's been able to make plays on this Grok here, which technically he eventually was able to do in the last game, but this is much better start for him.
Joseph, this is why he held on to the flicker after the sequence in mid. He said, I'm going to need this post-turtle. I'm going to hold on.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing here the comfort for Aurora. Across the board, they got picks that they have excelled with, won world championships with, wrecked streaks with, and it's so good. That was a Skypiercer pickup by Yue.
Very different timing.
A 4-minute Skypiercer compared to what? The 14, 15-minute Skypiercer earlier?
You know what that means. The game's going better.
Yeah, that's them saying, oh, we know we got this. We're going to game 3.
They catch Sanji, forcing the Fury out of him, but Dominic Kite will claim him. Again, as predicted, this will be a Dominic Kite-centric game. Rivers put him where he needed to be.
Yeah, and so far, Aurora looking like they could end this before 15 minutes as well. Daiki getting protected by the other members of Liquid.
Carl forced to use a shadow kill, and he gets taken down here. Demon Kite finds him. JP a little too far to protect the GOAT, and now Demon Kite jumps onto the Khalid, and he flickers on out of there.
This is what I'm talking about with this lineup, man. Expanding rivers for this lineup from Aurora is like having a flying cloud everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, we set it up, we got the predictive as a table, and now Liquid are just trying to grasp at straws at this point.
Patrick, he can't hold out, cannot stop 4 members of Aurora from taking away that orange.
Okay. Turret goes down. 3,000 gold lead right now for Aurora. Under the 6-minute mark, setting themselves up and for a very good position to take the next objective here. Already 2 turtles in their side, so they're going for the 3 for 3. And if we look at for TLPH on how they can go ahead and adjust themselves, they find themselves in almost a similar position that Aurora was in the previous game, right? You're waiting for Daiki to go ahead and come online on this Claude, and you're dealing with them forcing these fights.
Oh my lord, another flicker tech charge! He can't even react. He's snuffed out.
I'm telling you, man.
It's perfect. It's Aurora playing a very comfortable and familiar lineup that nothing is going wrong for them. And Liquid it's just them feeling the wrath of giving this kind of lineup to Aurora. They should not have given this kind of lineup at any point.
And that's why I would argue the fact that, you know, talking about Claude scaling up, it would have been better if, yes, you have a Hayabusa, but you are naturally shut down at this point, 0 and 3.
Yeah.
You're going to have to play massive catch-up, which then also paints the picture of how difficult it is to actually contest for these objectives and why you're on such the back foot. They're going to lose another turret down bot. You can see how Edward's not even really worried about Daiki or anything unless Carl TZ forces a play here.
Shadow kill on Edward alone. Pop in the bravest fighter just for a little more shields. JP, the backup. UN light response just to buy time for DK to get that turtle and steal away the purple maybe even. And this is a 3-man coalition from Aurora pushing forth up top. 5k help.
Well, they know the orange is up. Here comes Demon Kite. They're going to force him off the buff.
And now DK jumps on, compromising JP. No orange buff for Liquid.
Oh man, Carl. I think he's going to be able to get away, but they're just going to force this tier 2 down.
Uh-oh, another tech charge, knocking up 3. Carl is down. JP is out of the picture as well.
Damn.
But Daiki finds light. A little bit of retribution for Liquid.
Oh no, Sanford. Okay, he flickers. I'm going to reiterate it again. Carl TZ has been shut down in game 2.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. When you're a Hayabusa going up against this kind of lineup, you have to find this miraculous level 2 to 4 pick-off somehow in the center. But with Aurora knowing what they're playing with, they have the Baksha and then the juice in. They know that they can take risks and not get to the point where it'll be easy for Carl TZ to sweep up, get a kill, and then build through that. And all the times where Liquid tried to find an opening for Carl through a flank, it's just been answered immediately by Aurora to the point where even if they find it now, they're not going to get a kill. And if ever, it's a bad trade.
This is Edward and Light drawing a line between Liquid and the door out. Another tech charge. Carl TZ goes to it, gets a stack on him. And now underneath the Zaman Force, Sanford has his hands on
everything.
It's over.
It's so tough, man.
Even under a turret.
Even under a turret, that's what I'm saying. Carl TZ has nowhere to go. I mean, think about it. That was just about everything you could do. Quad shadows, he even popped the shadow kill. But you're forced in this position, and now they're looking to take down the Holy Shield, Holy Defense now on this bottom turret of TLPH's base.
Shadow kill once more. Edward, a sliver of health. Carl TZ, little sense of desperation there.
He wanted it. If he could have gotten at least something on the board, then that is a small step, a super small step in a long journey for TLPH right now, as this Lord is going to go ahead and be quickly secured now for Aurora to go ahead and get ready to march towards the base of TLPH.
They need to somehow drag this game out long enough that maybe after 5 more times of that, then they'll finally get a big win.
Yeah.
But with how it's looking right now, again, Aurora knew their conditions all throughout this game. They ticked it. They stopped Team Liquid Philippines from getting their conditions in the early, leading to this point. It's going to be a miracle if Liquid somehow extends this long enough to get that 5th big play to get that turnaround.
I think Light is 2 for 2 on big ticket tech
Yes.
charges.
I think
One
even more.
way- Oh no, Carl Teasy, a sneaky play, an orange buff steal is not gonna go unpunished. He gets caught by another tech charge. Well, I'll be damned. A desperation move, quelled by UN Light.
Oh man, just when you thought, okay, he at least got something, like a little bit of XP, a little bit of gold, and a buff, it gets stopped in its tracks.
Boy, that's Bow Wow.
That's not allowed.
That's not for you. That is
Oh, man.
Demon Kite's buff.
This is a completely different game than what we saw in game 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny how we were able to even call it as a protected point, where it might happen in game number 2 when Liquid just get gob stomped after a really close and tight game number 1. Again, it happens so much to them that at this point, they gotta see why.
Flying on a turret.
Big push here by Aurora. Liquid holding on. Turret gonna get taken down here. US scores. The Zaman Force putting Sanford in danger. He's doing his best to keep Dominic away from all of the powerfuls. Edward finds him. Daiki with the blazing duet gets to clear the way. JP is down. Bravest fighter by Edward, wailing away. Another Zaman Force holding onto the cart. I think Aurora has to slow it down. 10K up. They need another wave.
Oh, they can't end it here, but they do have a wave coming in up top.
40! Fury of the Phoenix!
Big
Stopping
Fury.
Aurora. Down goes Light. Can Daiki capitalize? 4 against 2. Liquid's last stand. Down goes Demon Kite. Aurora have to slow it down even more. Liquid still breathing.
Still a massive gold lead here, though, for Aurora. If
Daiki's gonna
Daiki gets
chase.
this is going to be big if he gets it.
Oh no, the Doctor! Gets hard! And now the Doctor is out!
Holy moly!
Okay, Edward finally goes down, but man, what a quick switch that was. Now JP on the hunt. This could be a very small window for TLPH to grab what they need to. But nonetheless, Aurora was in control there. They just couldn't quite end the game because of the way the waves were coming in up top on that top side of the base.
Yeah, okay. So earlier I said 5. Let's say that was 2.
Yeah.
That
Okay,
counts as 2.
that's 2. All right,
So
so,
three
3
more.
more. 3 more. Clock sticking here. But that was a huge heat check by Dominic. It's like, all right, welcome to the FPL. Let me show you who I am. Bang! With his signature Harris just blasting Daiki. Daiki was around like half health.
I was gonna say he got blasted.
Yeah,
man.
it was a dash, it was a basic attack, and then
that
he's
was
gone.
that was the force, by the way.
It was my force.
Actually, no, he didn't even drop. Well, technically, he didn't drop the Zaman force.
He did it,
but
he did
yeah.
it. He just
Single
dashed.
vision, I think. That was
Yeah.
all he did, man.
Single
So,
vision straight to the face.
right now, Lord's up. Still complete control for Aurora, though. With this kind of lead, you're not really going to be in a position to do much except fight in your base if you're TLPH with this one. So, with that being said, they've still got the 2 base turrets up. They've allowed themselves to go ahead and get a little bit of extra farm, but a main thing I'm wondering is if they're still capable of dealing with all that Aurora can throw at them. And that's not just Light. Light's been on point. I mean, look at him. 14 assists for this game. He's been everywhere. Whoa, okay, as I say it, he misses that tech charge.
Little jump scare in March.
Yeah.
Keep them on their toes, basically.
Yeah, I think he was also trying to measure whether or not he was going to commit the flicker, because that would have landed on the tower, if I'm not mistaken.
And they're all too far off to follow through.
Yeah. So, you know what, Light? Thank you for not committing that flicker.
That'll be
That would
fine.
have been bad for your team and good for Team Liquid Philippines.
He
That's
should
how
have
far
that.
ahead they are. He can afford to do that.
I was gonna say, look out, he's got the tech charge again. So like, there's no hurt to throw it out there because this Lord is coming up slowly up top. So they delay these waves to go ahead and deal with this push in for that mid turret. Half health on this. TLPH on the defense.
Here we go. Lord inside the base. Wave escorted in mid. In comes JP. Fury the Phoenix. Looking for an engage. Dominic falls. Carl Daisy finds him. Wow. This has gone sideways for Aurora. Their main damage source no longer on the board. Daiki with a blazing duet. Pushing back the rest of Aurora. Edward goes down. The chef cooked him.
What happened to Dominkai? How did he get caught like that?
Fury of the Phoenix. Oh, what simple... I think a very unfortunate time, because at that point, Dominic actually committed a dash. So it's like, uh-oh, I'm dashless. Uh-oh, I'm
Yeah,
stunned.
and he's got a flicker, right?
That man's
Yeah.
got no purifying.
Yeah, I think it was just way too fast for it to happen. That at that point, he just got taken out immediately. That's 3, folks.
He got rocked.
He got rocked out, and wow, Liquid good read on the situation. Fortunate for them as well that the Fury of the Phoenix from Sanji landed at the perfect time.
And this is the thing you said earlier, Redmar, they needed to buy a lot of time. So far, I'd say they've bought about half of that time they needed.
Yeah.
But again, also that got them another 3,000 gold in their pockets with TLPH. They were down about 7,000 earlier on, and you're taking a look at the items where things are falling into place now. Carl Tizzi, mind you, shut down pretty much the entire of the game up until this point. Now he's a bit of a threat. He also picked up the Sea Halberd to go ahead and help deal with some of that sustainability that comes with Aurora. You can see now Winter Crown picked up for Dominkite too. Yeah. He's like, I'm not going to let that happen again.
Not again.
At this point, that's a support Hayabusa. Your job, bring them down low, Daiki, finish them off.
No, I think Carl Tizzi's job is really just to finish off Dominkite.
Yeah.
Or
Sea Halberd is for the shields that
Yep.
the Harriet gets when he dashes.
Yeah, and of course, all of the region as well. Spell Vamp on the side of Aurora. Sea Halberd will help with decreasing that. And I think at this point with Yue with 0, does he have around 40 or 50 stacks on the Sky Piercer?
He should have, I think,
3 or 4.
4.
Because he got his Sky Piercer after
he had one kill, I think. Yeah.
After killer two. Okay.
They had a really good opening.
Yeah.
Which is, again, the great opening that they had. TLPH has responded pretty well, holding on, because again, this was a game that almost ended. It's just they had a great defense to be able to stay in this game, buy themselves this much time, and kind of catch up here on the disparity between the amount of damage they could dish out, but also take. And look, for the first time, they're actually getting in position for this Lord. Are they going to go for it, though?
They want to dance Lord here at an 1/8 of its health. And in comes the tech charge. No one home! JP very low.
Phoenix.
Fury of the Phoenix. In comes the rest of Liquid. Sanji very late to it.
Wow.
Daiki gets taken out by Edward out of the fight. And now in he comes, places the wet from the flank here, and Dominkite pops him. And now it's Carl Tizzi's turn to fall. 2 out of Liquid. And now JP gonna follow through. Triple kite for Dominkite. And now a maniac serves up a Sanji falls. Sanji says, nah, not me.
Yeah. I'm not giving you number 5. I'm not giving you the Savage.
It's just Sanji versus all of Aurora here. What can he do?
I think it's over. There's a wave in mid after this turret falls, and now they're on the base. Demon Kite gets taken down. Sanji just delaying the inevitable. We're going to game 3.
As expected. Somehow it's a